Tribe members, I just got another call last night from somebody who just lost their dog, 3 years old. And she had cancer, bone cancer, and not DCM this time. So I have just taken her pedigree that she had, which, interesting pedigree, because the pedigree is, the sire was all what's called hobby lines. Okay, and these are the lines that the latest study into the Doberman gene pool that was conducted by dobehealth.org in conjunction with Embark, also in conjunction with a group called the Doberman Diversity Project. These people are all in conjunction with Embark health testing, but they did a study, and the upshot of the study was that there are 3 distinct gene pools in the dog. It's the European lines, the American lines, and American hobby lines. No name pedigrees, no champion sires, the backyard breeder group type that do not breed for phenotype. They just breed. Okay, they're just breeding dogs. They put them together and they take a risk, and they tend to live longer, like much longer. I did my own little personal survey in a Doberman group that has 50,000 people, and I had over 1,000 responses. I asked, how many of you had a dog that made it over 10 years of age? How old did it make it to? And where did the dog come from? And 95% of the responses that were over 11 were a rescue, an inexpensive dog, a hobby lines dog. And one lady still had a dog that was 19 years of age riding around in a golf cart. So what I'm going to do, that study basically showed that, and the determination of the study, the upshot was that these show lines need to move away from each other and stop breeding back to each other and to integrate into hobby lines, which is what I've been preaching for 9 years. It's kind of like racehorse breeding. You have a great racehorse that you breed to a good brood mare. Good solid brood mare. Well, that's kind of what I have been doing for 9 years because of the study that I participated in, which is the True Doberman Diversity Project, which is through UC Davis and their DNA testing. So the point of this post is to show you dogs that are fucking lethal in your pedigrees. Okay? The snapshots I'm going to show you here that are going to be coming up here are dogs that if you find them in your pedigree, this is the life expectancy that you can have. So the more of these dogs that show up in your pedigrees, your Eastern, European, and Russian pedigrees, all of you that have 100% European lines and are touting that they're healthy, you've done Embark testing, you know that they're healthy, they're DCM 1 and 2 clear, they're DM clear, their dings clear. These are recessive traits that you could do a DNA test for that just screens a bunch of diseases, 200 plus diseases in all of the breeds of dogs. And then there's only certain tests that are breed specific for your breed. So the Embark test is a waste of money is my point. And anyone who's advertising that they've done this and this is part of the health testing and you can trust them, you need to run in the other direction because they're so ignorant. They don't know what that test is or what it means. The most important piece of information you can have is your pedigree. So if you are buying a pedigreed dog, stop looking at how fucking pretty they are, because they're drop dead gorgeous with a life expectancy of 2 to 7 years. Do you know that the breed now has a life expectancy of 9.1 years? Now, as old as I am, when I was a kid, it was 10 to 14. So these pedigrees right here, I'm going to start here now because I'm going to insert the pedigrees after I do the video. So I'm just pointing to nothing, but there'll be a picture here. So these pictures that are coming up here that I'm going to insert starting here, you need to look at these names. Now, I've put a little red circle around them to designate sudden death DCM and the ages and the names of those dogs. So if you find these names of these dogs in the upcoming images that are going to be scrolling past here, you need to reevaluate whether or not you will continue to breed these lines and sell these puppies to unsuspecting puppy buyers like Tanya in Wyoming, who just buried her 3-year-old. These are dogs out of her pedigree. These are all dogs that showed up on one side of her pedigree. These names are going back beyond 4 generations to 5 generations and 6 generations. And these dogs proliferate everybody's pedigree. If you've got a pedigree from AKC and it's only 3 generations, you don't know jack shit about your dog. If you've got 4 generations, 5 generations, 6, you still don't know jack shit. If you're not looking back at least 8 into these pedigrees that I'm scrolling by here right now, you do not know what is coming forward into your dogs. Now, her dog died of bone cancer. So I went to look and see which dogs had cancer. And if you pause to read some of these, you'll see other dogs that died of cancer. Now, late onset cancer, it is not as significant to note. It's the early onset cancer. I have an early onset cancer behind Phoebe. Yes, I do. Her grandmother died at 6. I don't know the type of cancer that she had, but it was a pervasive cancer. Now, there are 2 things to consider with cancer. If I get a diagnosis of cancer and I've screened for cancer, and now there's lots of screenings you can do for cancer on your dog. There's all kinds of nutrients that you can do because there are people who have cured their cancers. So cancer in some cases can be mitigated. She had long bone cancer, which is common in Great Danes and Boxers and Dobermans and Irish Wolfhounds and any long-boned, fast-growing dog. So you need to know the names that are predominantly showing up in your pedigrees. And if you are a breeder and you are following me and you know that you have these dogs and you're pairing them together, and both pedigrees have these dogs behind them, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Are you just hell-bent to create puppies no matter what and sell them to people unsuspecting like Tanya and Jennifer Hosking, who just buried her 5-year-old 2 weeks ago? And how many people call me? My eyes are all swollen from crying with Tanya yesterday. I talked to her for an hour on the phone. Because there is nobody that I'm going to turn down that wants to grieve the loss of their dog and has been watching my videos and learning something from it. I am not here to berate any of you. I'm not here to be better than you. I'm here demanding you be better. Do better. If these dogs are in your pedigrees, spay them. Spay and neuter these dogs. Move on. If you've already bred them a couple of times and got something, you did so in ignorance, or if you did it willingly knowing that this was in your pedigree and you did it anyway, fucking shame on you. Do you want to break down my pedigrees with me? I'll tell you exactly what's in my fucking pedigrees, because I fucking know what's in my pedigrees. And I'm the first one to tell you I don't have a magic wand, and I am not touting my lines as being the most exceptional lines in the world, and that if you will use my lines, you'll have better lines. When I breed to Phoebe and Phoenix, yeah. And when I'm breeding to other dogs in the future, yes, I've already made that jump. I spayed my Pride of Russia bitch, Gemma Rose, because I found this out. So please, people, research your pedigrees for your own sake. And call your breeders and say, enough is enough. We've learned to do better now. Do better yourself. If you're a breed enthusiast and you know this information, you better do better.